What's up, America? I'm Danny T. Welcome to the show. Well, this right here, this is what peak liberalism looks like. I can tell just by looking at her. She has every government assistant program under her belt. If she could find a belt that fits, that is. It seems the top half of her body does a pretty good job of protecting the bottom half from the sun with that tan line right there. But this respectable young lady put on her weekend best to go protest No Kings this past weekend. We haven't had a king here since 1776, but I'm glad these brave liberals are out there making sure we don't get one in the near future. Uh, I personally agree with no kings. People like Chuck Schumer and Chuck Grassley. They've been sitting in office upwards of 5 decades now. You have Nancy Pelosi right behind them. About 4 decades. You got people like Maxine Waters and Bernie Sanders. They're 3 decades in. We also have an army of new politicians just starting their political careers, lifelong politician careers. I'm sure. So I definitely I support no kings. Um, you know I don't like things like government shutdowns. Where our economy just tanks because we shut the entire country down for years. So I don't like kings, fraud. You have democratic cities out there in the millions of dollars, some in the billions, funneling money out from hardworking Americans. So I definitely don't like kings, that's for sure. We have people like Mamdani out there, trying to have uh community markets, trying to buy up homes and rental properties so they can turn around and uh, have government buildings, government housing for people. I definitely don't like that. I don't like kings. Ilhan Omar, she openly supports borders for Somalia. You don't want people that aren't Somalian there. She said herself a few times, Somalia is for the Somali people. But apparently, the United States is just a whore for the rest of the world where anyone who wants can come in here whenever they feel like it and treat this country how they want to, collect free benefits and whatnot here. But you got to leave Somalia alone. You got to protect the Somali people over there. Got to protect mud huts and no plumbing and you know marrying family members. Golden Somalia over there, but fuck America here, according to these people. So yeah, fuck. I don't support kings here. Fuck. Why would I? Why would you? Why would anyone want a king here? Speaking of Ilhan Omar, there was some misinformation going on that Somaliland said that they'd take her if Trump exiled her. That was misinformation. Uh, Ilhan Omar does not support Somaliland. Uh, she thinks it's pretty messed up that they broke away from Somalia. And in my opinion, they're kind of doing better than Somalia. They have their own currency. Um, they have their own government. They have their own military. Uh, doing pretty well for themselves. You hear Ilhan Omar say free Palestine a lot, but it seems to me that Somaliland is more of a country than Palestine is anymore. Palestine is pretty tore up, and they can't get their government together. They can't get their people on board. You have Hamas over there, terror groups. Your government's corrupt over there. So, I mean, I don't know why Ilhan Omar hates Somaliland so much. Probably because they're free of oppression. They're a democracy. They have elections over there. I think Palestine. I could be wrong on this. I think the last time they had an election was 2006. Definitely not a democracy. Makes sense to me why she supports that, not Somaliland. Um, Getting back to no kings, though, I definitely don't support kings. Obamacare. Uh, get my insurance or get fined. I definitely don't support kings. You know, Biden, mask up, take the jab, stay home, or get arrested. Speaking of Biden, uh, Kamala Harris, there was no Democratic primary for her. There was no election. They just appointed her. I've talked about that before. Actually, my first video was the last No Kings protest that we had was I covered all this back then. Um, Again, speaking of Joe Biden too, with No Kings, I mean, one of his buddies, Robert Byrd, he was in office from the 40s. He died in office in 2010. It's a pretty long time to be in office. And that Democrat, definitely influenced a lot of people. Uh, Heavily affiliated with the KKK. I've spoken about that before. Now, if you look him up, it'll say he wasn't. It'll say it's false information that he wasn't a Grand Wizard of the KKK. And I've said this before too. That's true. He wasn't a Grand Wizard. He was a recruiter though. He ran his own chapter for a while. Influenced a lot of other people. Another king, George Wallace, from the 60s through 87, another Democrat. I spoke about him before too, in the Crockett Finds a Racist episode. Um, George Wallace was famous for his inaugural speech where he was saying segregation now, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever. He's also famous for standing at the doorway of a college campus and not allowing black students to come in because he was pro segregation. So yeah, I don't support Kings. Definitely agree with the No Kings protest. But I think they have it messed up. They keep calling Trump the king. Uh, in my opinion, if Trump's a king, he's one of the shittiest kings, if not the shittiest king in history. I mean, you see every single news station doing hit pieces on Trump. You can't sit through a half hour of your local news without seeing at least 5 or 6 pieces on him, just bad mouthing him. Pop stars, doing shows and bad mouthing Trump. He hasn't arrested one. He hasn't had their music taken off. He hasn't canceled their shows. He's pretty terrible king in my opinion too for doing that. No one's been beheaded, no one's been hung, no one's been exiled. It's not very kingly of Trump to do. Um, so I definitely agree with the No King protest. Uh, no propaganda. People like Hillary Clinton pushing Russiagate and Benghazi, both the Clintons with Filegate. You know, uh, Bill Clinton all over the Epstein files. Trump not so much, just accusations that lead nowhere. What a terrible king. What a terrible king. And I definitely support No Kings. So keep up the good work, libtards. Uh, Keep those kings at bay. But speaking of libtards, there was a man, a woman, I don't know what they call it. It's an attorney named Hopkins. Used to be a woman, transitioned into a man. Had a little flip out going on. I can't even do it justice. So let's watch the video real quick. Um, this is what happens when you're mentally ill and you get hormones that don't belong in your body pumped into you. Let's just take a watch, right?
You interrupt me one more time, you are being held in direct contempt of court, and
Yes,
you can
ma'am.
wipe that smirk off
I don't
your
have a
face.
smirk on my face.
Oh, yes, you
I
do.
do not.
I am not going to tolerate this from you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Fill out the request if it's,
My client's not seen her child. There is no order in this court, and there's been no jurisdiction found that this court has jurisdiction over this child who has never lived in your county.
You just interrupted
Never
me.
lived.
You
I did
just
not.
interrupted.
There was a pause. There was a break. I wasn't done with my arguments.
and I was not done with my statement. You interrupted again.
Right there. I want you to watch that one more time.
In your county.
That phone doesn't touch the
Never
bench.
lived. I did not. There was a pause. There was a break. I wasn't done with my arguments.
And I was not done with my statement. You interrupted again.
Went right on the floor.
Do not throw your...
I did not throw. It fell off the bench. Please stop stating things that are not true, ma'am.
Sir, you've got a room full of witnesses.
I do. I put it down. I did. I put it down and it fell down.
I think all the witnesses saw what happened there.
I did not fall.
Then settle down.
I'm not upset and I'm not arguing. You're not letting me make an argument. I'm not red in the face, ma'am. I'm not.
Stop. Our court...
The reaction of the other attorney just walking away cracks me up every time. Every
You've
time.
got a room full of witnesses.
I do.
One
I
more
put
time.
it down. I did. I put it down and it fell down. I did not fall.
Then settle down.
I'm not upset, and I'm not arguing. You're not letting me make an argument. I'm not red in the face, ma'am. I'm not.
Stop. Our court reporter cannot get what we're both saying.
I am trying to make my argument. You interrupted my argument halfway through
This
on
is
an
a panic button
objection.
that will get every available deputy in
Yes,
front of
ma'am,
Bob
I'm
County.
aware. It's happened to
You're
me before.
interrupting.
That's crazy, you know, telling him, her, whatever, I don't even know anymore. Telling her, the bearded woman, uh, if they keep interrupting, they're gonna call the security over and the bearded woman. All this happens all the time. Oh, it's happened before.
It has.
Yes.
Because you're out of line
Yeah,
with courts.
I guess so.
Okay. If I push that
Or maybe
button,
because I'm a transgender attorney practicing all over the state.
I don't know what you are.
You do, ma'am. It's not that you do.
Is your client available telephonically?
Yes, ma'am.
today?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, then get her on the phone.
Thank you.
Your Honor, to which we would object.
I want you to tell me, anyone that's been to court, imagine talking to a judge this way. And the best part is this person isn't even in court. They're not in trouble. This is a lawyer. This is a professional lawyer right here. Just keep that in mind.
This is as clear as the nose on my face that this woman will not appear before this court because she has a warrant for stealing her
Objection,
children
you're
from
saying
another
that's
court.
not true. And you're red in
You
the
will
face.
find, sir, that
Don't
you
come
cannot
at me and
over me.
or shout at me.
I'm not putting down Zurich.
No, we're stopping.
Get out of my face,
I've been doing
sir.
it for a long
Get out of
time.
my face, sir.
You may step
Get
back.
out of my face.
I love how the trans is raising their voice and screaming and flipping out and causing a scene. And she's telling the other lawyer to not raise his voice to her.
You should leave this county.
Get out of my face.
Oh, here comes my favorite part. This is my favorite part right here, guys.
Get out of my
These
face.
people are my friends, and you're being ugly.
And get out of my face.
Put your hands behind your back.
Why?
Because you're in direct contempt of court.
He shouted at me. No, I'm not being. You did not even say that I was in
You are
contempt.
in direct.
No, I'm not doing my stuff. Do not hurt me. Do not
Now, she was told in the beginning of the video, if she didn't calm down, she'd be contempt of court.
hurt me.
Put your hands behind your back.
Do not. Are you throwing me over this?
Stop resisting.
I'm not resisting.
Okay. Put your hands behind your back. Stop resisting.
You know exactly what's happening. Calm down.
Just settle down, walk that way.
Go.
Settle down. Do not.
And there it is, a resisting arrest. No one was hurting her. It was a simple arrest, simple get out of here, contempt of court. There's a resisting.
Do not have me. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't do it. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Let's watch that again. Okay. Pay attention to the neck.
Do not grab me. Do not grab me. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't do it. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
That's a throwback to George Floyd.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't move.
So dramatic, so over the top, so unnecessary.
Ow! 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 Somebody call 911! Somebody call 911! I don't get a female officer now! Get a female officer now! Get a female officer now!
There aren't any.
I cannot see.
Or do I get to ask for a female officer if I get arrested? If I'm a man? I mean, if you're a trans, I know, and you know, that they're a woman. They're not really a man. But they think they're a man. So shouldn't they be getting arrested by men? Another thing that got me was the victim card right away. Oh, it's because I'm trans. And there we go. That's what all Democrats do. Oh, it's because I'm black. Oh, it's because I'm gay. Oh, it's because I'm trans. Oh, it's because I'm a woman. Oh, it's because I have blue hair. You're just a piece of shit. It has nothing to do with skin color. It has nothing to do with political party. if you're a piece of shit, you get dealt with, you get arrested. If you're not, things go pretty well. I've been pulled over for no seatbelt for this and that. I get warnings, I get let go. I'm respectful, I'm nice. I don't resist, I don't act entitled. Uh, I think that's where the problem lies in a lot of this. Um, yeah, it's just awful. Awful how these people act, awful how they think everyone just needs to bow down to them. Uh, you need to do everything they say, respect them, get their pronouns down, and they can just continue to act like pieces of shit and not do anything to them. As soon as they get a little backlash, it's the victim card. As soon as it's time for arrest, it's oh I can't breathe. Oh, police brutality. Oh my God. None of that happened. We saw it. I'm glad it got recorded. But this is what happens when you take a mentally deranged person and you pump them full of hormones that don't belong in them. This woman is clearly not all there. And then they put more testosterone and steroids in her than Hulk Hogan. This is what you get. You get mental freakouts. You get people getting assassinated. You get people raging out uh, just because, you clearly tell some of them are men or females or whatever. You get it wrong. Well, you get it right, but you get it wrong compared to what they think is right or wrong. You're gonna get them to flip out. You're gonna get a meltdown. You might get hurt. Um, I really think we need to start treating this like a mental illness again. This that I laugh. It's funny, but it's not. It's not funny. They need help. I feel bad for them. Um, you look ridiculous. You look ridiculous. Everyone knows you're not a man. Everyone knows you're not a woman. I don't know. As I've said, I always feel uncomfortable talking about this, but I'd really like to see these people get help. It really seems like they're struggling. They're suffering mentally. This isn't good. Mental health is a real issue in our country. And, we're just seeing a decline with this, with people sugarcoating this and letting people play pretend. Someone's going to get hurt. People have been getting hurt. Um, People are going to keep getting hurt. I just, I'd like to see an end to the trans BS. Um, as I've said 100 times in my real life on the show, everywhere, I have no problem with LGB. Those are all sexual preferences. Everything else is just fetishes, and it's weird, and we shouldn't have to submit to these things. It's insane. You can pretend to be whatever you want, but once you start flipping out on people that don't want to play along, that's where the problem is. Putting these people in professional settings, as we see, there's a lot of backfire coming from that. We still have people like Lee Fink in our government. There's trans people in our government. They've gotten them out of the military, which is good. Um, I'd really like to see us treat this like a mental disease again and get these people back out there and living normal lives, and maybe we can all go back to being normal again. Now, getting away from all that, another halfway trans, I guess, right? Not really, but Drewski, put on a wig and some female clothes, and he did the white conservative. Obviously, it's Erica Kirk. He's mocking. Um, I don't see anything wrong with this. The guy's a comedian. On a human level, on a personal level, he's a little bit of a piece of shit for making fun of a widow, but comedy's comedy. You see people freaking out over the white face and like just I don't care about the white face. It doesn't offend me. It doesn't offend most white people. Y- there's been a lot of misinformation with this too, with Erica Kirk, uh, allegedly a cease and desist. That never happened. That was misinformation getting pushed out. There's no evidence of that. That never happened. Another thing is her flipping out on Elon on X, telling him that his AI is all broken and he needs to take down the post right now, and that never happened. That was AI BS. Someone made an AI image of her accounts, and like none of that really happened. The only thing that she did come out and say is um, that there's a double standard. If she were to come out in blackface, she'd be canceled, and that's true. Uh, I agree with that. I think it's bullshit that there's a double standard. Comedy is comedy. Um, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You know, people need to get over it. You know, all ends. You know, you look at things like All in the Family. You look at Richard Pryor. You look at the Jeffersons. You want to kill racism? Let's all make fun of each other again. Poke jabs at everyone. That's what it's about. When it comes to Drewski getting his video pulled because he's making fun of Erica Kirk, no, it's freedom of speech. I don't have to like what you say. I don't have to find you funny, but you know what? You have every right to say whatever you want. You're not hurting anyone. Um, your feelings getting hurt doesn't count as getting hurt. I'm sorry. If he was out there promoting violence or anything like that, oh, it'd be a different story. Like, yeah, pull his video, but freedom of speech. He's allowed to have his opinion. Everyone's allowed to have their opinions. Um, Again, when it comes to the black face, the white face, I think it should all be fair game. Tropic Thunder was hilarious. Uh, I mean, Jimmy Kimmel is a cuck nowadays. But back when he used to do Carl Malone on the Man Show, it was pretty funny. You can't say it wasn't. It, I just think it's stupid. The whole blackface, whiteface. It's 2026, man. Like, slavery was a long time ago. You weren't a slave. Your parents weren't slaves. Your grandparents weren't slaves. Um, I'm European. My family came from a different country. We didn't have slaves. My country was the slaves. We were slaves for about 500 years to the Ottoman Empire, to the Turks. Before that, you know, the Roman Empire and the Greeks used to come in and cherry pick Slavs, and you know, it's been going on forever. It was a long time ago. It doesn't affect us. Racism isn't as real as people try and make it out to be. The propaganda. If there was all this racism going on, you wouldn't need to hoax it with like Jesse Smollett with the poop cross hoax. I can't even remember where that took place, what state that took place in. Um, you hear police brutality and people were begging for body cams. We got the body cams. The numbers haven't changed, and we're saying there's no police brutality. You're not getting arrested because you're a minority. Um, Criminals are pieces of shit, and they get arrested. They resist arrest. They act like that trans video, and you're gonna get arrested. It's not police brutality. I just don't. I don't think racism is as big as you're being fed on your local news stations and TV, and it's just more Democratic propaganda, man. Like, let's all laugh again. Let's all have fun. That's all I'm saying. But if you like things I talk about on here in America, give me a like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on Rumble. It's where I like to be. If you're following me on YouTube, switch over to Rumble. Rumble's freedom of speech. It's If you're watching this and you're enjoying it, there's plenty more on Rumble. You're not gonna find it on YouTube. YouTube sucks nowadays. I'm sorry. But that's all I got for you. And I'll see you later, America.